Now let's go forward. Their social status. Today, some people don't want to serve the community. You tell them, come volunteer. They said, I'm too busy with my life. Some know, my status is high, I won't come. Look at the status of the camp of Aba Abdullah. First group, they were companions of the Holy Prophet. Is there any status above this status? So naturally, if you are the companion of Prophet, then you are companion of Amir al-Mu'mineen, then companion of Imam Husayn al-Mujtaba, and eventually companion of Aba. Muslim ibn Awsaja was companion of Rasulullah. Anas ibn Haris al-Qahili was companion of Rasulullah. That's the first status of the group. There are other groups, they are stated they were Qurra, as he mentioned, the one who gave announcement, our brother. They were reciters of Quran. One of them is Burayri ibn Fudayl Hamdani. And Hasin, as you heard. They were top-notch reciters of Quran. They would recite Quran and enemy would begin to shock and to shiver. This is also another status. Another status, other group, they what? They were people who had, like when it comes to security, military, policing, that was their background. One of them is Hurr ibn Yazid al-Rayahi. Hurr was the leader of the army of Umar ibn Sa'd, isn't it? And another one was the chief of the police department during the time of Imam Ali in Kufa. And then you had the leaders of the Arab tribes, like Habib ibn Madahir and Abis ibn Shabib al-Shakiri. Leaders! And you know, if you are a leader of a tribe in Arab, you are a big man. And then there were those, no, from all angles, socially, they were strong. Be it knowledge, be it money, whatever. They were very, very powerful. And then, of course, you've got John, who was also by then slave, joined Aba Abdullah al-Husayn. He joined Hussein. These are their status. Do we have status than them? These are their status. And again, if you go forward, who were they before joining Aba Abdullah? Arguably, majority of the companions of Aba Abdullah were not Muslims before. They were not lovers of Ahlulbayt before. Majority of them. So I mentioned earlier on, you cannot take this Iman for granted. Baba, protect your Iman. In this day and age, the most expensive thing is Iman. Wallahi, one can lose his Iman without his or her consent. Hur. He wasn't with Ahlulbayt. He was with Umar ibn Sa'd, but he joined. Wahab al-Kalbi, he was a Christian, we mentioned, and he joined Aba Abdullah al-Husayn alayhi salam. You've got Abu al-Hatuf and his brother from Basra. They were Khawarij, and they joined Aba Abdullah alayhi salam. And then you've got others like Zuhair ibn al-Kain, who was core enemy of Ahlul Bayt. Zuhair and his wife were coming from Hajj, and the caravan of Aba Abdullah was also proceeding. The wife of Zuhair said, so are you sitting and Hussein is going? He said, what do I do? He said, no, I want you to join Hussein. The wife convinced him, and then he changed his mind, he joined Hussein. So this was their sabiqiyah. They were not like lovers and followers of Ahlulbayt, but eventually they joined Aba Abdullah alayhi salam. Sex, male and female, in the camp of Aba Abdullah. There were women. There were men. Young girls. Young boys. That shows that to build a community, you need both gender. You cannot only men dominated. Then who is going to think about women's affairs? Abu Abdullah placed Zainab on top of everything. And if it wasn't because of Zainab, none of us was going to be here today. Hence Zainab is referred to Sharikatul Husayn. But in some of our communities, women are marginalized. Women are undermined. Women are not given their rights. Their voice are not heard. Abu Abdullah said, no, my camp is not like that. And I and you know very well the advocacy role that Sayyidah Zainab played. Wallah, if it wasn't because of her, we were not going to receive most of these teachings of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. Race, blacks, Asians, you name them, I will name them. Race, different races. For Hussein to tell you racism is not allowed. Undermining people because of their color is not allowed. This one Pakistani, this one Kashmiri, this one Africa. I am better. It is un-Islamic and uncivilized. No one is better than the other. Allah knows who is better. And that's why we said the message of Hussein is universal. The world need to know the composition of the camp of Abu Abdullah. You give me any camp in the world, any organization in the world where children were allowed, men were allowed, women, old, young. Today when people become old, youth don't want to sit next to them. Some of our communities I know, they said these people, they are dying, thinking it's over. But Abu Abdullah taught us to build a community, you need to blend young and old together. You know what? If young, you want to go your way without elders, forget about it. Elders, you want to go your way without young, forget about it. Imam Ali described that the opinion of an elderly person is so dear to me than the skin of a young girl. It's a metaphor. Say you need the advice of an elderly person. Rasulullah mentioned there is khair and barakah in the presence of an elderly person. You may have PhD, that's okay. You may be the CEO of your organization, that is okay. But someone who sleeps before you wakes up before you. It's a metaphor, it's an expression. Someone who sees life before you, he might not have been to the university you've been. What he knows, you do not know. And that's what Abu Abdullah taught us. No, today you know the problem we have in our communities? No, this program is for the old people. This program is for the young one. We busy dividing and destroying our communities. Why can't we have programs together sometimes? So that the elders can share their experience with the young ones. And the young ones will use their energy to make things happen in the community. So Abu Abdullah taught us, bring all on board if you are to achieve results. But if you neglect others, you may not achieve the result. This is how we build the community. My message is not about community, but it's very important to understand. If we are truly Husseini, this is what Hussein did. Where were they coming from? Which country? Number one, our first group, Turkey, Atrak. Hurr ibn Yazid al-Rayahi, the Mawla, his servant who was with him is from Turkey. But he's not the only one from Turkey. There was other companion who was also from Turkey. Second group, Hijaz, which you know very well. Ahlulbayt, all of them were from Hijaz. Saudi Arabia of today, if you like. And the third group from Kufa. So therefore this notion that Shias kill Hussein is wrong. Shia will never kill Hussein. Shia will never kill Hussein. Enemies killed Hussein. They may be from Iraq or other places, but Shias of Iraq never killed Abu Abdullah. In fact, we received this message from the Shias of Iraq. Today, when you go to Ziyarah in Iraq, you will see the manifestation of the love of Ahlulbayt alayhim as-salam. There were Kufiyun who were with Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. One of them is Anas ibn Haris al-Qahili. And not only Kufiyun, you have Basrawiyun, people from Basra. They were also like Abdullah and Ubaidullah. They were from Basra. And they were in the camp of Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. Not only that, in the camp there were people from Yemen. People from Yemen. Yemen is bleeding today. Where Rasulullah said, Baldatun Tayyiba. Yemen is bleeding. Donate towards Yemen. Donate towards their plight. Yemen has been bleeding for quite a long time. Don't fold your arms and do nothing. Hussein told us, say no to humiliation. Say no to injustice. Say no to oppression. Whether done to Muslim or non-Muslim. Wherever it is happening, stand against it. Because that is what Abu Abdullah stood for. That is why he didn't take only people from Hijaz. He didn't take only Arabs. He took people from all over. And you got people like Habib ibn Madahir al-Asadi. Iraqi, but far from north. Join Abu Abdullah alayhi salam. You've got John. There are so many discussions as to where John is coming from. Some said some part of Africa, but there are discussions by then which country of Africa are we talking about. But at the end of the day, John was black and he joined Abu Abdullah. Certain extent when he died, Abu Abdullah cried. He went to the body of John. So Abu Abdullah brought everyone. He never left anyone out. Why do we sometimes segregate in our communities? We, you who? Where are you going? Take it easy. Let's go back to basics and look at how Abu Abdullah did it. And let's take daily. This is, to me, personally, I'm really convinced 100% this is masterpiece of community development. Because he brought all different potentials on board. As we sit here, we've got different potentials altogether. If you bring all these potential together, we join together, you know, we become a force and no one can break us.